Peace and power, great people. It's your guy, KingJerlo. It's Ascension. We are released. Brian Kemp signed Senate Bill 36, April 4th, 2025. We are no longer under the foot of denominational tyranny. We have been released by the Father. It's Ascension. I'm going to keep saying that. I need y'all to realize we're in the same place, but we're in a totally different dimension. Tonight's lecture is not a shouting match. It's not a stage revival. This is a kingdom classroom prophetic moment. When I talk about the fact that it's Ascension Day, most people do not even know what the frick I'm talking about. And that's 90% of the problem. We have been bamboozled by the colonizers, classroom clowns, and the slave master seminary scholars. We caught up in emotionalism, caught up in Western theology, but we really have no practical understanding of the Word of God. Ladies and gentlemen, there is a distinctive difference between African Christianity and American Christianity. And tonight, I'm going to break it all down. As Daddy King say, I'm going to make it all plain. See, Mama and them, their depth on any particular lane, any particular topic, was limited to the books they got accessibility to and the schools they got access. But how many of y'all know God be moved? He said to Abraham, it's applicable to you, leave the land of your fathers. Why? Because the Negroes done got spiritually complacent. Talking about God moved like this and God moved like that. Listen, he probably did when you was my age, but he's still moving. And his ways above your ways and his thoughts above your thoughts. And as soon as you feel like you know how he moving another way. So God tells Abraham, leave the land of your fathers because this folk done got spiritually complacent and come to a land I'm going to show you. Get about these church buildings. Why? Because the ecclesia, the church, the called out body. The church is not a building. It's a called out body. Where are we called out of? The building. Called out of the typical nomenclature of the church. Called out, what Mama and them used to say it, into the highways and the byways. Y'all just outside with it. Nah, y'all do. What we doing, coach? We transforming the marketplace into the kingdom marketplace. We being used as ambassadors of the kingdom. That's a little bit different than a member of the Sunday morning breakfast club. Yeah. God got work for you to do. He wants to use you. He wants to get glory from your life. You getting up every day thinking you employed. You ain't employed. You've been deployed. God is activating the church, the body of believers, the called out. Come on out from amongst them. Come on out of that darkness into this marvelous light. Do you know who you are? You are a Y.O.K.I.S. You're a young king, not a young nigga. And the Y.O.K.I.S, we're the young organization of kings internationally serving. Solomon says, as you see yourself, you become. You keep listening to these colonizer classroom clowns. Got our sons out here calling themselves young niggas. You know what that make them do? Young nigga shit. What? You see yourself like a clown, you do clown shit. See yourself like a king. Oh, that's different. Now you realize there's certain things that's just beneath you. You know, we're them prodigal sons and daughters. Come on home. I got your back. I'm on your side. Listen to me. American Christianity was spoon-fed to us by the colonizers. It was preached to make you submit, not for you to rise like we're doing today. It's the version that tells the slaves to sing hymns while they got chains and shackles on their feet so I can dance. No. It teaches, listen to me closely, behavioral science. It's a behavioral control method. It does not teach you your kingdom authority. If you start to walk in it, them folk gonna call you aggressive. It's all right. Tell them to read Isaiah 53rd chapter, the 12th verse. We looked at it yesterday. To tell them your prudence. Jesus, by their definition, was aggressive. Daddy King was aggressive. Whitfield Nottage, aggressive. William Gray Jr., aggressive. Martin Luther King Jr., aggressive. William Herbert Gray III, aggressive. Leon Sullivan, aggressive. Joe Roberts, aggressive. So they call you aggressive. Tell them you in good company. They want to control you. And American Christianity does just that. Makes you feel good. Makes you a good tither, but a broke kingdom builder. Y'all feeling where we're going? Oh, it's going to get deep. American Christianity is weak, it's weaponless. Now, let's talk about the real. Let's talk about the prophetic. Because the oldest recorded version of Scripture was not this King James version. Miss me with it. Oldest recorded version of Scripture was the Ethiopian version. That's African Christianity. That's different. That's original. Always imitated, never duplicated. That's liberation. That's Moses walking in the Pharaoh court with his staff, looking at Peckernet in the eye, talking about let my folk in the hood go. That's the Ethiopia. You know, the eunuch in Acts 8. It's the church in Egypt before Paul talking about the church at Rome. Before the church at Rome ever touched the scroll. It's communal. It's prophetic. It's bold. I mean, how you supposed to come to the throne? Soft. We ain't no new converts to this thing. African Christianity is the blueprint. You know, fact check me. Nowhere in history have any of our prophets been pussies. How you going to stand 10 toes down to spiritual political wickedness in high places, right, Camille, if you a spiritual sissy? Now, how is it that we apply this African Christianity in the urban context? I'm so glad you asked. King, how does it hit in real life? Let me tell you what it looks like. It looks like the Kingdom Auto Solutions. Turning auto shops into economic discipleship centers. What in the world? You know, our boys, they're our boys, not them boys. You train up a child in the way they should go. When they're older, they won't depart. They haven't been trained up in anything other than the streets. What thou seest, thou becomest. I got to see a Leon Sullivan. I got to see a William Herbert Gray. I got to see a Joe Roberts. I got to see a John Lewis. I got to see a Samuel William Boynton Jr., my father. I got to see a Leroy Johnson. I got to see solid men of God, not pussies, real prophets, who were 10 toes down and fighting for people, who could punch and preach, and didn't preach because they couldn't punch, but preached because they was tired of punching. Who really cared about us as young African men, who took the time to give us real lessons that they had walked through themselves. So it inspired us. It pushed us to want to become more. But that's not what our youth get. What our youth get is the watered down weirdos, who've never done anything. They're not one of us. Malcolm X talked about the house nigger and the field Negro. Said the house Negro grew up in the house with the slave master, either living in the basement or the attic. So they were more mentally connected with the slave master. They didn't grow up in the field. They wasn't on the ball court. They wasn't on the block. They wasn't on the cookout. They might have went to an HBCU, but they was never on the yard. They never talked to shorties. They've been reared and raised by their little political buck-breaking group. And these are the kids in the front of the class. We should smack in the back of their heads. They can't stand us. They still got nightmares from us putting them their heads in the commode in high school and tormenting them in junior high and all the little stuff that takes place being an African boy. And they never went through it. They have no testimony. They just, you didn't follow all the colonize the rules. You going to hell. You ain't about to listen to me because I'm a preacher. Fuck boy ass niggas. They've sit behind Daddy King pulpit, but can't preach it. Because to display certain parts of them show their contradiction. I got one for you. They'll talk about the fact that Daddy King oftentimes said, I'd rather see a sermon than hear one any day. But they don't know the poem. They don't know it's a mantra of the land. You are not a son of the Ebenezer Covenant if you don't know this poem. Who was your spiritual daddy? It damn sure wasn't Daddy King. Damn sure wasn't William Gray Jr. Damn sure wasn't Whitfield Nottage. Damn sure wasn't Leon Sullivan. Damn sure wasn't William Gray III. Couldn't have been. You'd have known this. I'd rather see a sermon than hear one any day. I'd rather one should walk with me than merely tell the way. The eye a better pupil and more willing than the ear. Fine counsel is confusing, but an example's always clear. And the best of all the preachers are the men who live their creeds. For to see a good in action is what everybody needs. I soon can learn to do it if you let me see it done. I can watch your hands in action, but your tongue too fast may run. And the lecture, this is the Ascension Lecture, you deliver may be wise and very true, but I'd rather get my lessons by observing what you do. We showing these young kings how to turn wrenches instead of busting guns. Hello? For I might misunderstand you and the high advice you give, but there's no misunderstanding how you act and how you live. When I see a deed of kindness, I am eager to be kind. When a weaker brother stumbles and a stronger man stands behind, just to see if he can help me learn how to put these brakes on right. Then the wish grows strong in me to become as big and thoughtful as I know that friend to be. And all the travelers, all the Uber drivers and the Lyft drivers and the mamas on Uber Eats, they're going to be calling up Kingdom Auto Solutions, going to kingdomautosolutions.com. They're like, we're going to support that. And all the travelers can witness that the best of the guides today is not the one who tells them, but the one who shows the way. One good man teaches many. Men believe what they behold. One deed of kindness, notice, is worth 40 that are told. Listen. You see me, you see King Dave, you see King Des, you see us standing there teaching a younger generation. You ain't got to bust your gun. I know it's hard. Let me show you how to serve. Right? That's a principle with a reward attached to it. We do weapons and rewards over here. Right? Principles and rewards. We teaching them how to be a young king, a young organization of kings internationally serving, a Y.O.K.I.S. You know why? I was talking to one of my young bucks, little Mikey. Oh, he a 12th grader now. End of the school year, he 12th grader now. Well, next year. It's next year. All right, cool. He 11th grade. A+ student. Grades start slipping at the end of the year. Principal, advisor, mama on him. What's up? Y'all told me to get a job. I'm working at McDonald's. I'm giving him 30 hours a week on top of my sport, on top of my books, on top of JROTC. I'm exhausted. I need some money. I'm only bringing home like $250. 30 hours. King Dave, Dean K showed me I do 2 brake jobs and 2 oil changes. I get that. That's a Saturday. I got all this time to focus on my personal development, my spiritual development, my grades still up, and I'm learning service and I'm building my own business. See, a good man teaches many. Many believe what they behold. One deed of kindness noticed is worth 40 that are told. Who stands with men of honor learns to hold this honor dear. For right living speaks a language to everyone which is clear. Though an Aber speaker charms me with his charismatic and his eloquence, I'd say, if you were part of the Ebenezer covenant, you can tell by your work, because we'd rather see a sermon than hear one any day. So it looks like these types of things. It looks like faith in action, right? It looks, Reverend Dr. Leon Sullivan, folks are running from the urban inner city. He was running to it. Folks are running from us, young black boys. He was running to us. It looks like that. It looks like select patronage. It looks like OIC. We've digitized it. So it looks like it doesn't look like build, brother, build. It looks like build, sister, build. Looks like teaching AI and branding and social media marketing and digital marketing and how to perpetuate a bag with their hands on their keyboards instead of their hands on their knees to our daughters. Instead of leaving them to figure it out in this over-sexualized culture which objectifies them and attempts to prey on their harsh financial realities. It's hard. I've been the dean of USU since 2002. I know I don't look it, but you know what I'm talking about. And when my baby girl geniuses graduate, they last week, some of them just out of school now, they 16, 17, and they're good girls. They're pursuing they got big dreams. All right, they're entrepreneurial, professional, academic aspirations, and they need a little bag. They just want a little fit, little hair done, little nails. My daughter, 23 and 13. All right, fathers, daddy with daughters, we know. All right, they want to be cute, and they working hard on their grades. They deserve it. But ain't a lot of jobs that are dependent upon their digital ingenious. But a whole lot of methods for them to perpetuate income based on their body. My daughter, 23. I've been raising these babies. They have quantified and qualified me as a valid source in their life where they ask me questions and we really kick it. Okay, it's $250. All right, $250 for our daughters to go to Atlanta Police Department, the DeKalb Police Department, and get a stripper's license. And that's the most readily available method of them perpetuating income. That's disgusting. It's $250, $150 to the Secretary of State. We give them $100 in their business bank account. A lot of them brought that $99 Kajabi for 90 days. That's how that they get in the bag. All right, selling landing pages and things to that effect. It's teaching them, right, that their most powerful and potentially profitable God-given asset is their brains and not their boobs. Not being twice their age, drooling over their little high beams like these little faggots in the church is doing. It's being a real man. What did the generation call it? Being a father to the fatherless. And understanding they're not those kids, they're our kids, particularly if we represent God. It's mentoring our sons and our daughters through business and the Bible, not just the ball, not just the bag. It's the culture flipped. It's the kingdom localized. No, you can tell we ain't waiting on the altar call. We out here in the field working the harvest. Jesus said, the harvest is plentiful, but the workers are few. Let me work that. Because the vine dresser, the gardener, doesn't allow everybody onto the farm. Because I got different fruit. And this fire brimstone miss me, Mr. Watermelon Man. You know, everybody know the watermelon man. He got that truck with them watermelons just thrown in the back. He got them things just thrown in there. You can't deal and treat my strawberries and my grapes and my tomatoes like you deal with them watermelons. They ain't gonna have no truck of fruit. You're gonna have a truck of juice. You will crush that delicate thing God sent you over there to harvest. You're ill prepared. The slave master's seminary and the colonizer's classroom has not prepared you to connect with our children. It's prepared you to continue to perpetuate the behavioral science control you had over their grandparents. We over that. We in the same place but a different dimension. You know, God raised Jesus to sit to the right hand of the Father, and second, or Ephesians, the 2nd chapter, the 6th verse says, we also, right there. That's ascension. You know, the slave master seminary and the colonizer's classroom, they don't talk about ascension. They lie to you. They tell you the most powerful 40 days that Jesus spent on the earth were the 40 days up to the cross. That's a lie. The most powerful 40 days that Jesus spent on the earth were not the 40 days up to the cross. It was the 40 days after. Why? Because up to the cross, it was the is you ain't my Jesus. And if you really the Messiah, Negro, since you help so many other folk, why don't you help yourself? Oh, when he got up, though, and start walking around, swagging out. What we questioning again? Acts the 1st chapter, the 8th verse. But ye shall, matter of fact, let me go ahead and Acts 1:3 to 8. To whom also he showed himself alive after his passion, after he got up, by many infallible proofs, being seen by them for 40 days, speaking of things pertaining to the kingdom of God. See, the colonizer ain't up on this kingdom of God. The colonizer want to keep you in church with the feel good. And Jesus, on these 40 days, is exercising dominion and authority. See, God creates us in his image, in his likeness. Then he gives us dominion and authority. And the slave master doesn't want you to understand that. Now, we all created the image of God, but it's a certain set aside folk who got this magical melanin moving through our physical DNA. We got this dominion and authority. Whatever we touch, we dominate. It's just king swag. And so the weaker one is intimidated by that. So he wants to control it. Wants to not teach you, like, you know, we ain't gonna talk about the dominion and authority thing. No, he got up with all power. Stop there. Okay, go home, end the story. No, dog, let's talk about this dominion and authority. Because he didn't just rise up into the clouds and waved bye-bye, that just don't even make no sense. He rose to take the throne. He rose to hand off the mission. He rose to say, I've done my part, now y'all go get it. Because you're going to do even greater things than me. Y'all keep reading Acts, the first chapter, 1, and read the whole first chapter, especially 9 to 11. That's a magic moment. It's John 14:12, just so y'all know. I know y'all taking notes. You're going to do greater works than me. The ascension is the confirmation that he's not just our Savior, he's our King. And it has not yet appeared because we're sons. So that means that we're kings. So you know what I need you to do? I need you to act like a king. See, that's it right there. Slave master don't want you on that. See, if he tell you you a young nigga, you're going to be out there doing young nigga shit, trying to survive. Scrambling, going with that shit that grandma and them is on. Oh, we struggling and all that bullshit. Fuck out of here with that. No, I'm a king, dog. I reign in Jesus Christ. I stomp on serpents and scorpions. I got the anointing of the Father. It's prudence. You just misinterpret it as aggression. I ain't beat you bitch ass niggas the fuck up yet. What's wrong? You can't take a word that don't bow down? Can't take one that's not controlled? Do you know who you are? You know, and this isn't this holy talk. It's not, oh, this is a religious thing. No, this is life. This is your blueprint. You know, you got to understand how we apply these things in the urban context. In the hood, North Philadelphia, stand up. South side Jamaica, Queens, South side Atlanta, West side Atlanta, stand up. The hood. Any good thing come from Nazareth? That's the hood. What does ascension mean in the hood? It means stop waiting. That's what the colonizer got you on. When we all get to heaven in the sweet by and by, miss me with it. My folks want to know what you got for me right here in this hour, now and now. So stop waiting for the God in the sky and start building with the God you got in here. You do realize your body is the temple of the living God. See, that's what they want you to do. They want you to, I'm looking for this authoritative God up in the sky that's going to come save me. Jesus said the kingdom is where? It's within you. They don't want you to tap into the God that's within you. Oh, whoa, wait a minute now. Hold on now. It's a different conversation now. Now you're walking different. Now you're talking different. Now you got a different belief in yourself. Now you're not so emotionally moved. This thing is not about running a church every Sunday for a holy feel good for 2 hours. God didn't tell Adam, come to the garden twice a week. Pick that nigga up and put him in the garden. This is a lifestyle. This is how you live. And Ephesians 2:6 says, we are seated with him in heavenly places. That means the throne ain't far off. Where the frick is it? It's inside of you. The kingdom is inside of you. I'm aggressive about that. I need you to get that. You are a God, what Jesus called you. Little God. God pulled his spirit and placed it inside of a dirt shell. What's the definition of grace? Not the Old Testament version. God's unmerited favor. That's an Old Testament definition, an Old Covenant definition. That's God splitting the Red Sea. There is no pastor accredited who has not had to acknowledge Strong's New Testament Bible Concordance, Strong's New Testament Dictionary, that defines grace as the divine influence upon your heart that needs to get reflective in your life. Wait a minute, King. You mean there are two definitions of grace in theological circles? Why they only deal with the one? Why is it so popular? Because it immobilizes you. They talk about the movement, but the folk who talking about the movement wasn't in the movement. The folk who talking about the movement, parents ain't do shit. Bernice did, but she was 5 when her daddy died. She just don't know shit. It's a difference. All these other New Jacks, they don't know shit. They know what the colonizer told you. Y'all know this is America, right? Y'all know it's 3 stories in America, right? It's the slave master story, it's the slave story, and it's God's story woven in the middle. Well, you do realize the slaves don't own those schools. So you going to the slave master school. You going to the one who hung your heroes to learn about your heroes. Figure that out. What? They're going to teach you everything that puts them in a position of authority. I'm the pastor. And no, you can't ever get to this position. I'm the senior pastor, so what I say it goes. Fuck you, my nigga. Who is you? You not God. Neither is the colonizer. We don't bow to you. Every knee will bow and every tongue will confess that Christ is king. Fuck you, faggot. Like that, though. And because they've been buck broken, because they be hanging out with their homies, and this what they gonna do. You know, them out there. Jesus wasn't elitist. He was amongst the people. Nothing they do lines up with red letter, but they got this little tight group. When the Father says the kingdom is within you, know what he's saying? You got access. You got authority. You just need a realistic, practical interpretation of the scripture, aka you just need the blueprint. And that's what we're giving you tonight. Oversimplification by far. We're officially launching the Y.O.K.I.S, the Young Organization of Kings Internationally Serving. Yeah, it's that serious. No, this ain't no youth group. We're not trying to get permission from the church to train our boys. They're our boys. We're a little bit different. We're not a 501c3. We are a 508c1a. The fuck? Yeah. God did something special for us via Bryant Kemp on April 4th, 2025. On Martin Luther King Jr.'s Ascension Day, God positioned this Ascension Day. It means we sovereign. Means we protected. It means we free to move without the political puppets or they bitch-ass pulpit games. And we can talk our language the way we talk. Fuck them niggas. I ain't offending nobody. This how we talk. We don't speak the king's English to the queen's liking. I gotta curse a little bit in order for you to be like, yo, it's something different, because I never got this type of prophetic power with something that's rough, rugged, and raw in our generation. Yeah, it's kingdom. We not raising the colonizer choir boys. I'm training young kings, not followers. We don't do soft-spoken satanic rituals. We teach authority, vision, purpose, prophetic responsibility. And yet, some say we too aggressive. Find the right language. It's probably because they're not used to seeing healed black men. I'm healed, damn it. By his stripes. I'm over my addiction to anger. I ain't no bitch. I'm going to call it for what it is. I'm spiritual. I ain't a sucker. I'm holy and I'm hood. What? We ain't bowing. We ain't begging. And we're not playing with our prophetic identity. Now listen. I got some LGBTQ homies. I got nothing against the LGBT community. You might catch me with 2 women. What? We all fall short of the grace. God, pray for me. Trying to find a wife. I can find one. Satisfy both heads. I'm wife hunting. Selfish plug. I'm not anti nobody. I'm just pro alpha, pro masculine, pro discipline, pro kingdom. And if that bothers you, so the fuck what? Maybe you too comfortable with the colonizers' Christianity. Listen, I make people uncomfortable, dog. Even when I'm not in a fit. Even when I'm rough and rugged and I don't got it. Even when I get stripped of everything. Even when I get proved, the anointing just do something to them. What? I get it from my spiritual fathers. Shout out to the boss of the bosses, my grandpappy. Selma Boss, the original king, Samuel William Boynton Jr., my father. Neither one of them niggas like Samuel. You call my motherfucking grandfather SWB. You call my father William. Call him the mailman. Me, I'm SWB Part 3. KingJerlo. My mama changed my name when I was 3. And then prophet's mama. You know what I'm talking about? Changed my name to Kevin. I was like, oh, fucking Kevin. Shout out to Amazing Grace. King Kevin. All grown up. KingJerlo. Yeah, the Jerlo manifestation and the American soil. Oh, what a day, what a day, what a day. Mom and them got a song talk about this is the day, this is the D-A-Y where you meet the D-E-I. Yeah, Jesus called you a God. You are a God. Me, I'm the God. Yeah, you call me, I feel disrespected. You call me the, thank you. The God, the global. That's a circle. Ovid. I like mommies, you know, like, oh, that's Latin for worker. And day, not D-A-Y. And fuck they D-E-I. It's not equity and inclusion. It's the DEI. I'm the global worker of God's work. Yeah. Mommy Sully. Amazing Grace. She did all that. Miss Progress Plaza. Miss OIC. Miss Teaching Mini University. Shout out to her hubby, the original Lion of Zion, Reverend Dr. Leon Howard Sullivan. You know what I mean? Shaking the global corporate table with that apartheid work. Shout out to Herbie. William Herbert Gray III, stepping down from Congress to uplift black minds for the United Negro College Fund. You know a young buck gonna be like your daddy and them. Shout out to my urban shepherding mentor, Mr. Chicago, Jersey Joe in the building, getting the pastoral helm from Daddy King, putting a young buck onto that gospel game. Not you know what I'm talking about. Nobody loved God's people like Joe. Nobody. No. They ran their leg of the race. Did you hear what I said? Their leg. It's not a sprint. It's a relay race. See, the sprint, that what the mouse niggas be talking about. It's all about me. Fuck you, nigga. You gotta work. Holy Ghost said something right there. The sprint, how fast you went to school, how fast you graduated, how fast you got your degree, how fast you got your church, how fast you got your political position, how fast you wrote your book, you arrived, huh, nigga. Nigga. Oh, Lord, ass nigga. No. That's well and good, but that don't help us. That's about you. That ain't about us. That ain't about the team. That don't motivate the kids. That's just you. We don't care about you. We don't know you. You're not one of us. See, for us, that's a colonizer game. The colonizer takes shit over, rewrites history, puts a puppet up. Everybody go along with my story, otherwise you're a disciplinary problem. Get out of here. National Park Service, get him. He's too aggressive. That's not what we do. As an African people, we transfer our story orally. That's what we do. Yeah. Sons to fathers, fathers to sons. It's a relay race. You know, the skill set you need to win the sprint is enough, but it's not enough to win the relays. You got to learn how to receive the baton without dropping it. You got to learn how to pass the baton without dropping it. If you ever aspire to a leadership position on the team, you got to be able to teach others how to do the same. And if you don't know, the baton is a mixture of our story and our children. I mean, look, a lot of folk, they just didn't drop the baton. You stay culturally relevant because you're a father. You've been involved in their lives. Some people have come in to Ebenezer. Some people have come in to Bright Hope. Some people have come into historic institutions that were generational families. And all they focused on was the politicians. All they focused on was the corporate. All they focused on was the seniors, and they ostracized the children. And you wake up now, 20 years later, and their pews are empty. They've attained their political position, but they've killed one of the most historic generational black churches in the history of America. Now we multicultural. Well, that's good, because we are the people of God, but is that because God is doing a new thing, or is that just because you can't connect with urban America? And when you talk about multicultural, are you talking about the gamut of America, or do you just have a whole bunch of white folk on Martin Luther King dick and a whole bunch of political folk who don't know shit and just fall for your buffoonery? You got a great story for the past 20 years, but you got a problem with me because I've been here for 30. So you talk about them folk, but I got raised by these folks. These my folks, for real. That political shit that y'all in, I don't really fuck with. And our father said to let you niggas wrap this prophetic rope around your neck, and when God told us to go ahead and just hit you with the truth. I mean, I am the youngin', all grown up. We know how Dexter and Isaac feel about little black boys from the hood, because I was a little black boy from the hood. In 1995, Isaac was 30. I was 15. You see me riding with these 15-year-olds, I'm riding with for me. I see me in their eyes. That's a connection that none of them can do. And the streets wild. Warnock talking about how Trump got ineffective folk. Look at his ministerial staff. You ain't got nobody can connect with our folk. You got a little Dominique King. She cool with a little media shit. Get over it, bro. We over the optics, dog. That shit only work for your big white corporate sponsors, the senior citizens, but in the trenches, you ain't shit. Don't do shit. Don't give a fuck. And you are the black Donald Trump. Everything Raphael Gamaliel Warnock talk about Trump, he do. You can excuse Trump. He admits, I'm just a politician. Warnock tries to act like you a preacher. You ain't a man of God, you satanic pussy. Warlock. Somebody Google Gamaliel in the Bible. He's a senator, just like him. He was raised for this shit. From Abyssinian Baptist Church when he was a youth minister, hooked up in that Castro political bullshit, to Memorial Baptist Church in Baltimore, where a young boy got damn near child abused, bucket of pistol on him, to the way he run all the black boys out of Ebenezer. Fuck you, pussy. Tyson, Trey, them my sons. Yes, I choked this shit out of Raphael Gamaliel Warnock's first youth pastor, Wilbur Willis. I made him fucking confess. He grabbed the little boy butt cheek. Shannon Jones, bisexual. Raphael Gamaliel Warnock, bisexual. Isaac Ferris, bisexual. So is fucking, now that's my opinion, but that's what it is. It's a boy clique. That's what everything is. And the new, Reginald Chappell, he used to be the intern, the COO of SCLC LA. It's a direct contradiction for him to have worked for the King family and now be the superintendent of the National Park Service site. That's the King Center. But because they got Trump and he done killed civil rights, these motherfuckers double dipping, playing both sides of it. Acting like they give a fuck about it, but playing the whole game. This motherfucker's so bold, he on tape as the superintendent of the National Park Service violating my constitutional rights. No, I'm not approving any of your permits because you're too aggressive. And no, all citizens are not equal under the United States government. And then walk away. Where does it say that, you little ruffian? Colonizer shit. Classroom shit. Trying to provoke me. We got video of Shannon Jones' faggot ass father pumping threats. Three of our boys got shot last July at the James Orange Park. They called a prayer rally. He ride up, see me amongst our youth, which I always am, because that's what the Y.O.K.I.S do. Oh, KJ, don't fuck this up for us. Made me get out here and fuck you up. Turned around and drove off the park fast. They talk that shit, try to provoke something. You got Raphael Gamaliel Warnock. This is the Ebenezer Baptist Church staff, security staff, in a church jacket, calling me a nigger, saying he gonna fuck me up, saying I'm gonna get hurt, threatening me, then calling the police 30 seconds later saying I'm aggressive. You got Brittany Johnson, thought ass, running out the sanctuary, creating a scene. Why? Because she running a fake game. You know, it wasn't just Cornelius Taylor who died, it was Bear. Tons of homeless shit, all fucking optics, all people getting paid off the degradation of God's people, off the hood. None of them do shit. They ran a Ebenezer One campaign for the community, for this. They talk about the fact on anniversary, Warnock, we raised $1.5 million. Well, Warnock said, you can tell someone's heart by their budget. Can we see yours? Because I know for a fact that with Joe Roberts, the housing allowance was $100,000 a year. And it was that in 2020. Before you found out you can't get the $100,000 of housing allowance and your Senate money. So the church buys $1 million patronage. Let's unpack this. The budget, the bylaws allotted for $100,000 a year. We spent $1 million. We spent 10 years worth of reserves to buy the nigga a second house. He had a house that was a $400,000 house, but he became a senator. So he sold that and bought $1 million house in D.C. because that's where he is from Monday to Friday. But then Ebenezer bought $1 million house on Hosea Drive for a weekend house, and I ain't knocking it. You can do whatever you want legally. When the little boy got abused and he got arrested in Baltimore, that was legal. But everything that's legal in the American government ain't legal in the God's kingdom. Some things can be satanic, but they're going to be legal to Caesar. You know, those people tithes and offerings. That was a scam. Nowhere did the church say, put your money in here so we can buy our pastor $1 million house. You obtain that money with people thinking they were giving back to God's work. God's work ain't buying this bitch nigga $1 million weekend house on Hosea Drive when folks starving, when boys trying to figure out how to get an honest income. You done took Leroy Johnson's board and put your girl who the head of the board, but she the head of this housing group, but we got this housing issue. All of the things that Ebenezer used to be involved in through Joseph Roberts that really helped people in the community, your bitch ass then turned your back on, got in Senate and raking in all this money. Everybody knew Donald Trump was going to get rid of the public education department. We got a curriculum approved by Amazing Grace Banks Sullivan, approved by Coretta Scott, approved by Edith Scott Bagley, approved by Cynthia Dolores Nodis Tucker, approved by Joe Roberts, approved by John Lewis, approved by William Gray III. Why do we need a new one? We reach 5 million kids. We mandatory curriculum in 50 school districts. We're the #1 requested resource in a school tragedy. Why we need a new one? Because you got a bunch of consultant friends. So you're going to get that $4 million public education department grant right before Trump killed the public education department. So you ain't got no accountability and no deliverable. 400,000 over here, 400,000 over there, over there, over there. $5 million you done ran the fuck up in the past 4 years. And nothing to show for it. Bunch of fundraising campaigns, but no work. Yeah, going up against this nigga, he got me stripped. Yeah, got me locked up for the National Park Service. Yeah, got me fought. When they found out we had a community home that we transformed into a center, they got me arrested at Rice Street on some fake shit and then robbed the house. Took my drawers, my computers, took everything they thought could shut us down. And a year later, we still here. We had Carver popping so much. The bomb scare at Carver was a fake. Because a bomb scare is a traumatic event. So we should be responding with something to the kids who having all that anxiety, a reason to shut down everything just like they did last year. Cop City. Shut it down now. Don't let the kids talk about what we did, because if we talk about the fact that we got all the black boys together under this Fulton County Obama Foundation, my brother's keeper, from summer of 2021 to summer of 2024, every first and third Saturday, and then we graduated them in custom cut suits and got all this fancy photo op content, and then 3 of them got shot and we ain't do shit. We called the prayer rally, had Shannon Jones go up, spew violence, and the kids recorded it, posted it, sent it. Ain't this shit. They had a meeting with the superintendent at Eric Vincent Thomas Church, St. Peter's, July of last year. It's a defamation suit in Superior Court, y'all. It's cool. And opened it for clergy. I came down. Don't let them in, because we don't want to address the real stuff that's going on, because we getting paid on both sides. This is the A.D. King Foundation. This is the political buffoonery. See, these are the people, when Yolanda Denise King got murdered in May of 2007, these people immediately came up with their Donald Trump A.D. King Foundation. Ran it until William Gray and Joe Roberts died, and then Donald Trump went into office and then pivoted on abortion. And then everything that our parents threw under the rug. What's consistent about Dexter, Isaac, and Warnock? They all hate young black boys. Why did they hire Warnock? Look at what he did in Memorial against young black boys. He don't give a fuck about us. He'll take the check. And what did Dexter and Isaac do this January 18th, 1994? January 1917 was the King holiday first day of service. Soon as the checks clear, press going, kill the youth department, 17 to 14. For what reason? The monetization of MLK. You can't profit off the profit. You can't profit off the prophet. Why you think God stripped me of all my bag? Stripped me of all my fits. These niggas took my sneaker collection. 40,000 in jewels, 20,000 in cash. Fuck that. It's gone. It's over. I'll get more. Deal with it. I've been pruned. Now it's time to produce. John 15:2. He prunes the ones who already bear fruit so they can bear more fruit. They strip me of titles, block me of funding. They talk slick. It wasn't them. I thank God for them. It was God using them bitch niggas to prune me for this moment. We talked about it last night. Isaiah 52:13. His servant. I'm the servant leader, ain't I? I'm God's servant. His servant will act wisely and be lifted up. They said aggression. God says prudence. They got the colonizer, we got the kingdom. They got church, we got kingdom. They got choir boys, we got kings. I mean, the government will be upon his shoulders, but it's two governments in the earth. It's countries and it's kingdoms. They not like us. We don't move emotionally. We move with order. Dominion, authority. I told y'all, king swag, confidence, divine confidence, royal rhythm. Hey, listen, y'all. We over the bullshit. It's time to build. And y'all know everything rises and falls on the core. This ain't no mega church ass. I ain't locking no doors and well, this what I need. No. This is the kingdom call of action. We grassroots, we digital, and we real. And this ain't no can't do it all itself. You get blessed when you sow with the Y.O.K.I.S. You can hit the Cash App, the Y.O.K.I.S. You can go to Urban Success University, scroll down, hit the donate button. They are relaunching the Y.O.K.I.S.org site tomorrow. But most importantly, whatever business you got, whatever aspiration you got, whatever you launching, ministry, business, nonprofit, go to completeyourprofile.com and fill out the Google form and get registered for free on me. God used our spiritual fathers to position me in targeting.com back in 99. I seen 480,000 small businesses come across my desk. Leon did some amazing stuff with select patronage that they with OIC, with Progress Plaza. I digitized it with the Kingdom Marketplace, and y'all ain't got no clue what's there for you. Just get registered. I'm going to bless your life with more than you could ever imagine. These 101 Kingdom business prompts going to bless your life for the rest of your life. Black women, queens, goddesses. I know y'all hear me. If you qualify, if you're a powerful black woman in business, powerful black woman in nonprofit, powerful black woman in ministry, I need you to tap in. BuildSisterBuild.com. I need you to let one of our daughters tell your story. After the smoke clear, we still going to have a public education department. It's going to be me versus Gordon Mesner. He changed his name to Lucian Greaves in 2013. That's the executive director of the Satanic Cult After School Satan Club. You're going to have him and the After School Satan Club and the Y.O.K.I.S. Talk about he going up against the Good News Club. No, he's not. He's coming for Urban Success University. Listen, let's get it. Warnock, Bernice, all of them, even if they got the heart for God, they're so corporately and politically connected, they can't open their mouth. Larry Weber of Race Point Global is Leah Weber's daddy. He brought Dexter King with that marriage with Leah. Leah Weber might be trying to rebrand herself as Martin Luther King Jr.'s daughter-in-law. That girl, nor her daddy, don't give a fuck about Black America. RacePointGlobal.com. Look them up. They cultivated conversation answers. Look at Bernice's Nonviolent 365. All that Stevie Wonder can see the shit in the dark. All right? And it's an attack on black women. So when the semester open up, you know what I need? An overwhelming amount of testimonies. If you donate your testimony to our daughters in this BuildSisterBuild.com, and let them tell your story. First off, you need to dominate digital. And the way our geniuses, baby girl geniuses on this SEO, SEM, SMM, this AI, this AdWord, this keyword, the featured article they writing about you, go ahead, you ranking through the roof. First 100 black women who get their story. Getting it for free. Just so my daughters got something to work on over the summer. And they not up in the polls. Upgrade now while it's lifetime. Later, oh, you going to upgrade but it's only going to be monthly and annual. And a lifetime going to be 3 times as much. It's still going to be a deal. What? Ladies, please let one of our daughters tell your story with honor. You're going to get tools, coaching, AI training. You know I'm going to love on you. They're going to get experience. Both of y'all can get funding and kingdom mentorship. It's all kingdom, all love, all real. I'm done, y'all. For now. I want you to know we're not asking for a seat at the table. God has prepared a table for us in the presence of our enemies. He done made the niggas our footstools. We don't need no title. We walk in sovereign truth. We're not waiting on Sunday. The Sabbath is Saturday. Some Roman priest decided to make you worship on Sunday. If you dissect what they got you doing, 90% of it is satanic. What you mean? It's the opposite of what the Father told you to do. 90% of what they give you ain't red letter. So we not on that. We live in this kingdom today. Let's build, let's rise, let's reign. It's the servant leader of the Y.O.K.I.S. I would say the doors of the church are open, but we ain't got no church. You're welcome. Come out of the darkness into this marvelous light. Was y'all expecting me to make you feel good? It's an Ascension lecture from the Dean. Amen. Till next time, remember 2 things. I love you almost as much as the Father on behalf of the Father. And have an amazing day on purpose. Like, what's number 2? The fact that the Father made you amazing on purpose. Deuces. Love you.